PAX 8 Beyond 2026. What an incredible event. Incredible. I believe it's PAX 8's finest. Was there in Salt Lake City, and it was run incredibly well. The keynotes were really, really incredible. Great messaging, great new announcements. The way they handled the media. We had a whole podcasting row and treated us really, really well. Well attended. Thousands of MSPs, thousands of attendees that were just, ready to learn, ready to share, ready to be part of this community. Really great event. They're in Salt Lake City, an unusual location in that I've never been to an event there before, but Salt Lake City did a really good job of hosting it. Beautiful there in the mountains, and absolutely the weather was incredible, although we didn't spend much time outside. But Podcast Row was set up incredibly well too by PAX 8 leadership. Had 15 great conversations. First was with Brent Whitfield from New Charter, of course, from Garage Startup to 8-figure exit lessons for MSP leaders. Great conversation with Brett, great insight. Next was my friend Rob Scott from Monjura, of course. Why AI can't replace human expertise in high stakes decisions. Great conversation with Rob. Rob, so well-rounded. Really enjoyed. It's my second time talking with him on the podcast. Dave Meister from Checkpoint, from Tech Apprentice to Global Cybersecurity Leader. Great conversation with Dave. Really, really cool insight. First time meeting Dave. Oh, and then Kim Simmonds. My goodness. Second year talking to her at PAX 8. I'm a big fan of her and her Cloud Contracts 365. How growth mindset and AI are reshaping business success. Wonderful to see Kim. Next, Dan Daniele from CrowdStrike. Had the pleasure of knowing Dan for many years. How AI is changing cybersecurity faster than most businesses realize. Really great conversation with Dan. Always enjoy his time. Ryan Seguin. First time I met Ryan from ScalePad. Really great conversation, really open. Why your best growth opportunity is already in front of you. From PAX 8, next was Ola Wojciechowicz. Sorry, Ola, if I mispronounced that. From burnout to balance in a hyper-connected world. First time meeting Ola. Really great conversation. Enjoyed it. Gagan Singh, of course, from Blackpoint, CEO there. The AI revolution, opportunity, risk, and the future of humanity. Great talk with Gagan. I've had the pleasure of talking to him before, not on the podcast, but really, really smart, really insightful. Daniel De La Garza from Kipling Secure. Great conversation with Daniel. There, we're doing a lot of work with Kipling. It was a really great conversation. Thank you, Daniel. Next was Jason Myers from Open Text. AI is powerful, but not as smart as you think. Great conversation with Jason. Joe Levy was next from Sophos. Had so much in common with Joe. We're both from the Northeast, and we were doing very similar things with computing in the 90s, and really great insight from Joe. Thank you very much. Luisa Balanuch. I think I mispronounced that, Luisa. But incredible conversation with Lisa. She's doing great thing with offshore and nearshore hiring, helping MSPs do that. FlexPoint is the name of the company. Ryan Walsh from PAX 8. My friend Ryan, is the second year we've talked on the podcast. Great insight. The time goes by so quickly. Thank you very much, Ryan. Brian O'Shaughnessy, one of my good friends for 15 years, has an MSP, recently merged with a friend, Rob Bruce, who I also talked to. From startup panic to lasting success. Great talking with Brian, great insight. Jessica Davis. My goodness, Jessica, we've known each other for a little while. Great to have you on the podcast. And last was Rob Bruce, the two leadership partners at SkyTide, from Africa to MSP business. Excellent guest. I thank all of you for taking the time to spend with me there at Beyond. And thank you for watching and for listening. New art have you worked on? Last time we talked about.
Remember that?
Of course. We should be friends on Facebook, because you probably don't put this stuff on LinkedIn.
No, I don't. And I don't go on Facebook. I'm not a Facebook person.
So how do you share it?
Instagram.
Instagram.
I do the Insta.
And it's your personal Instagram?
It's my personal one.
Okay, so that's what we need.
Have
So I
to
need to
connect.
see this. So how
Have to
often are you
connect.
putting out?
I'm not doing painting anymore so
what
much.
happened?
Life, businesses, good success.
Yes.
It's been really good.
So does it call for you? Do you? So we talked a year. I can't believe it's a year.
It's a year. I know.
And so you haven't painted since?
I have not painted
Wow.
since.
How about piano?
I have played the
singing?
piano. Singing and piano. Yeah, that's about it.
You can't take that out of you.
No. And actually, I really love it because it's that peace and quiet that I have, that moment for me. But yeah, no, it's been hard work the last year. But how have you been?
I've been okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no real complaints. My daughters keep on looking like their mother. I'm very happy about that. But things are going well. So what is
Good.
your artistic outlet?
So for me, it's not even an artistic outlet. It's just reading. It sounds really boring,
It's
but
not boring at all.
I'm doing a lot of
Fiction?
No.
Non-fiction?
No, I do a lot of sort of self-growth, I've been reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Have you come across
great.
that?
I go
oh my
back
God,
to it
that's
every couple of years.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I've been reading that, and I actually got one for my kids because there's Rich Dad, Poor Dad for teenagers.
I didn't know that.
This is amazing because no one taught me financial planning.
Right.
And obviously, it's good now my businesses are doing extremely well. I'm like thinking, how do I invest my income? How do I do things so I'm smart, about what I'm doing with that sort of side of life? And I'm trying to teach my kids like how you sort of financially plan for things and how do you make money work for you a little bit, So this has been really good. Learning a lot about that. Still doing a lot of meditation.
Yeah. How often do you meditate?
Every day.
How long?
Like it's a non-negotiable.
Unassisted?
An hour.
Or assisted?
No, assisted.
For an hour?
An hour.
Describe,
in
paint
the morning.
a picture.
I get up, I have my cacao. It's like hot chocolate. It's really amazing because it's like heart opening. And then I sit down and I listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza. He does a lot of meditations.
Sure.
So I do a lot of his meditations. And
For an hour?
For an hour. Yeah, because you know what? I really notice the difference when I don't do it.
Interesting.
And when you are, I've got 2 businesses, Joey, and when
Yeah.
you've got 2 businesses, you've got, lots of teams to manage, you've got clients to manage, you've got everything being thrown at you in the day. You've got to find some peace and some center.
In this fast-paced MSP landscape, how do you stay ahead? Introducing MSPinfluencer.com, your ultimate hub for MSP news, insights, and community connection powered by Forza Dash. More than 75,000 MSPs subscribe to our MSP Influencer Pulse weekly newsletter, staying informed and ahead of industry trends. Tune in to emerging podcasts from Joey Pinz and leading MSP voices, offering essential tips, powerful insights, and success stories. Explore our multi-authored blogs, crafted specifically for MSP leaders, delivering fresh perspectives and actionable strategies. Celebrate excellence with the industry-leading Forza-MSP Influencer Awards, recognizing innovation, leadership, and impact in the MSP community. Join thousands of MSP professionals who trust MSPinfluencer.com to grow their business and expand their networks. MSPinfluencer.com, where today's MSP leaders connect, collaborate, and conquer, all powered by the Forza Dash platform, helping MSP vendors work effectively with MSPs and helping MSPs grow.
And for a while it was art, now it's meditation. Has that replaced it?
No.
You've been doing meditation.
I think art will always be with me. The challenge I have right now is because it's so full on with my businesses. I like a day to do art. I'm not one of these people that dabble. Like I go all in, like if I'm going to do art, I need a day off. I need a day for myself. And with 2 kids, raising 2 kids, 2 businesses, finding that time now is getting harder and harder. And my kids, they're 12 and 11.
Yes, I see you put those in LinkedIn. Yes.
Yeah. So,
adorable.
They're great ages, but they need help now, like with their homework, with their schoolwork, and I need to sit down and spend time with them. So, there's things that take up that space that I could use towards art. But
tell me about yourself at those years. What was your passion back then?
With what, sorry?
At those years, at those 11, 12, when you were 11, 12 years, just a couple of years ago.
God.
What were some of your passions?
I would love dancing. Absolutely love dancing. Anything to move my body. I absolutely love that. I wanted to be an actress when I was younger as well. Love the stage. a bit too much. And so dancing, like acting, that kind of stuff.
The arts.
Creative, yeah.
And you a musical instrument back then?
Yeah, so piano all the way
Always the
through.
piano.
So with the piano, I was given a little tiny Casio keyboard when I was 4 years old as a Christmas present. You know, the tiny little one, the
Yes.
dinky ones, like you can hardly put your finger on the keyboard. And I remember just playing around with it and listening to the sounds and being like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it just took off from there. And I remember my parents, because I was getting quite good, I'm quite, what's the word? I can hear a song and I can sort of play it,
Whoa.
you know, so I can sort of, I can find the chords quite easily. But reading music, I could never do because I was never taught. So my parents were like, oh, she's got some talent. Maybe we should put her to, you know, learning. And I had a piano teacher who was so boring. And oh my God, that almost killed it for me.
That'll do it.
That almost killed
That'll
it.
do it.
But yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So it was all art back then? I mean, but you have two businesses now. Did you have any entrepreneurial spirit back then?
Do you know what? I've always been entrepreneurial. When I was younger, so my parents were quite strict about pocket money and, you know, and I had to earn my money. So which is good because I think, especially when you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's all about learning how to earn your money, right? And they, you know, if I wanted new clothes, they wouldn't just give me new clothes. I didn't really, I wasn't brought up like that anyway. I was in a very middle class kind of working background. And so every time I wanted something, that my mum would say, okay, well, you have to go clean the bathroom and I'll give you £1 or $1, you know, and I'd keep doing all these jobs. So, but then I realized actually I could start earning more money doing other things. So, you know, things like making orange juice for the local community. And I'd like have a little stand outside on a warm day, like have the orange juice out there and people would come and buy it and be like £2.50 or $2.50, whatever it might be, you know. It was fun.
You had it back then, didn't you?
Yeah. I just was driven by, if I want something, I didn't want it to feel unachievable and outside of my reach. I always thought nothing should ever be outside of anyone's reach. So you have to go after it and you have to create a path for it.
You sure do.
And I've always believed that.
But that, it seems to me, Kim, that the entrepreneurial spirit and pursuing that is very kind of, I don't know if it's left brain or right brain, but it's different from art. So you were able to balance those two.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the entrepreneurial mindset is a very creative mindset because you've always got to think about like how do you get to that path, and you've got to have an open mind to get there. And the same with creativity. You've got to open your mind to possibilities. Just because someone teaches you that this is the right way to draw doesn't mean that's the way to draw.
That's right.
And I take that lesson into everything I do. Just because I'm a lawyer doesn't mean I have to do things not by the book, that's the wrong way of saying it, but exactly how I've been trained to do things. I can think outside the box and deliver things in a different way, which is why I went down the automation route of legal, because this is before ChatGPT was a thing. I already thought about, you know, automation, AI, using all that within the legal industry and changing it for the good.
There seems some kind of set structure in those disciplines that just is ripe to kind of rotate a bit, no?
Yeah.
It's a perception from the outside. Legal system and the kind of financial system. I mean, there's restraints of the law, of course, but there's still some other...
But it's how you deliver it. That's the pinnacle for me. It's not about, of course you have to work within the remits of the law, but how do you deliver that?
Right.
You know, how do you think about the client journey? How do you think about what the client actually needs from the legal industry rather than what the lawyer wants to deliver from the legal industry? You know, when you flip it around. Yeah. Yeah.
We're here in Salt Lake City at the Big PAX 8 Beyond event. What are some of your goals this week, Kim?
So for me, and it always is about good conversations with people, getting to grips with where they are on their journey, what are their current challenges, how I can help them. But, you know, it is that good quality conversation. It's that looking at, you know, going back and having those conversations, talking to people again, because we do so much on Teams. It's so, you know, kind of virtual now that actually having the ability to have a drink with your client, I think is amazing. So that's really important for me.
Yeah,
that connection.
Connection, yeah. And there's going to be a lot of MSPs here. It's just going to be a great event. When I saw you last year at Denver, you did a really good job with that. Why do you like working with the MSPs?
I've always been in the MSP market for like 20 years, and I love to see how they've evolved.
Yeah.
The last 20 years has been like the most crazy evolution I've ever seen, from break fix to MSP to now MIP.
Yes.
You know, it's like they can't, they never sit still. They're always evolving. They're always doing something different. And that marries up with who I am as a person, but how I've evolved as a lawyer through that journey as well. So it's an industry that I've always cared about because I know their pain points. I've been there. I've been through it with them. And it's just fascinating how they never stay the same.
How were you first introduced to MSPs?
So my ex-husband ran a Microsoft partner business that then did support, so was into managed services. And because of that, I got under the hood of his business.
Of course you did.
And then when he sold his business, it was really fascinating because he sold his business 20 years later for a lot of money. And the reason why he did so well out the sale was because his contracts were perfect.
Of course they were.
Of course they were. Of course they were. But because I'd taken the time to really understand that market, understand the pain points, where the cash flow headaches were, where the contracts could really support them. And I think that was a really key differentiator that I could develop. And then I realized I could do this and help so many more MSPs on that journey. And actually, that's why I started off in that way. And it's been so amazing and rewarding for me to help all those MSPs go through the journey. And when they do get to that exit, they're thankful for the journey and for the help.
Why should MSPs not use an LLM for creating agreements?
I don't think they know how to prompt it properly. I think, there's a reason why we're legally trained. There's a reason why we go to law school for so many years and have a lot of debt doing it because, ultimately this stuff is really quite a fine art. And if you don't know, A, how to prompt something properly, and B, how to verify and check it, and then you have the backdrop of the legal landscape always evolving and changing. So how are you going to maintain that? How are you going to make sure you're compliant? How are you going to make sure your terms are always keeping up to date? So I think with all of that, why bother trying to do that when there's tools out there that do it exactly for you and are specialized? It just doesn't make any sense.
So how does Cloud Contracts 360 help MSPs?
Thank you for the sales pitch. Yeah, that's great. That's what we do. We plug the gaps. So we actually create, on the platform, they can create their contracts that are fit for purpose, exactly what they need. They can review contracts using our AI review tool, and they can redline the changes, send it back to the other side. It's all done for them. They manage their contracts, e-signature, data room, access, automatic renewal reminders. It integrates the PSAs. But the most vital part of it is the maintenance and the updates. So when there's a legislation change, when there's any kind of change in the law, we update them, we tell them what to do, but we also update the contracts. So we are always keeping their contracts up to date.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's dynamic.
Very, yeah.
So when MSPs are searching, or when they want to find a company to partner with, a platform, what questions should they be asking?
I think firstly, find out exactly who's behind the platform. Are they legally trained? Do they know the MSP community inside and out? What do they offer in terms of automation tools? Because workflows are really important now. I think also that AI piece, like how do they verify legal contracts for risk, is really important now, because it's not just about having a good contract. It's about making sure that if there's a contract that's being sent to you, you know how to see where the legal risk is, how to manage it, how to mitigate it, how to respond to it. So I think these are the important things. But also, I think 100%, do they understand the MSP community? Do they understand the market and the industry?
Kim, is there a question that you wish more people asked you?
That's a great question. That question. I think in terms of for the business side or for life?
You tell me.
I think for the business side, it's certainly, what is it that I see happen more often than not in the MSP community? So in the sense of, where do I see MSPs falling down a lot? because a lot of people don't want to take the time they don't want to hear the answer.
Right.
And because I've seen, I've been in the market for 20 years, I've seen a lot of things go wrong. And I've seen how they should have been able to mitigate that. And so asking me that question, what's gone wrong? Like, what have you seen? What is it that I don't know? What's my blind spot? I think that those are excellent questions.
Yeah, they are. And in life?
In life, I think for it'd be nice for people to say, what's my biggest learning? What has been my biggest learnings in my life? Because I think we can all learn from each other's learnings.
Yeah.
Because we all have wisdom that comes from not just failure, but, things that perhaps didn't work out the way that they should have done. And I think we can all learn from one another.
Yeah, and share it.
Yeah, and the same way, like, what's your greatest achievements? And why are they the greatest achievements? Sometimes it's not about success from a business point of view. It's different types of achievements. And sometimes people need to see what other people classify as achievement, because then they can sort of see, oh, I've got something similar in my life. Maybe I have achieved. Maybe I am where I'm supposed to be.
Do you measure that?
My achievements? Like ROI?
Well, any measurement?
No, not really. I think, life, for me, life is a big adventure.
Yeah.
And I like putting one foot in front of the other. I think more now than I've ever done before. Before, I used to plan for the future all the time. What if scenarios? What if this happens? What if that happens? But now I'm like, well, whatever's supposed to happen is perfect, because it's helping me get to whatever I need to get to after that occasion. I think people have to just relax a little bit into what's happening on that day. We can have big problems. I mean, think about an MSP. It could be a cyber attack, which feels like the world is burning up around them because they've got this cyber incident and they've got to respond. They've got to do everything, instantly. It's like, okay, how can you relax through that? Even though it's absolutely hideous for you, how can you relax through that? See what it is that you need to learn from that, and really respond in the best way that you can. And sometimes that's why the meditation really helps, because you learn to center yourself. You learn to take the deep breaths. You learn to just feel calmer through your storm.
What if discipline wasn't about punishment, but about unlocking your best self? I spent 2.5 years writing Discipline for Greatness, because discipline changed my life. And I know it can change yours too. This isn't theory. Inside, you'll find real, practical steps you can use immediately to focus better, build stronger habits, reduce stress, accomplish your goals, and bring more balance to your life. Whether you're trying to get healthier, improve your career, or simply feel more control, this book gives you the framework. Start today. Grab your copy of Discipline for Greatness at joeypinz.com/book. Thank you.
If we went back just 10 years ago, so you'd been about 22, what did you firmly believe then that you no longer believe now?
That I firmly believed then.
About 10 years ago.
Okay, that I had to make millions and millions and millions in order to be a success. And it's all that I had to be really, really rich to be really happy.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I enjoy making money.
Helps. Yes.
And I don't think there is anything wrong with making
Certainly
money.
not.
And for me, I think that a lot of people need to realize that there's nothing wrong with making money.
Yes.
It's not sinful, but I think happiness is a state of being in the present rather than any future event. And I think that's been my greatest learning. It's not about what's in the future waiting for me, for it to happen, for me to then feel something. It's in that moment. What conversation can you have right now in the moment with somebody, even if it's somebody in the supermarket? What conversation can you have that can change your energy, feeling how you're feeling in that day, where someone might inspire you or somebody might inspire with their story? And how profound could that be for you?
Is there something in the last month or so you changed your mind on?
Oh, you're really testing my memory now.
Just the last month.
That's really testing my memory. That I changed my mind on.
Yeah. Do you find yourself changing your mind?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I'm a woman. Of course I change my mind all the time. That's my prerogative. That's okay. I can do it for you. That's my prerogative. What have I changed my mind on? I think I've changed my mind on where I want to see my businesses in the next 5 years. I think that I've been changing my mind a lot on that.
Why?
Because I think too small sometimes. And I'm always like, well, maybe we can go into this country, or maybe we can do this, or maybe not next year, maybe in 5 years' time. And I think I've been wrestling with the fact of how do I grow the business past where I am today, and how do I do that? And so I think those questions I've been asking myself has given me different answers all the way through. And I think I'm a bit more sure now, like what I want to do and where I want to go. And I feel that gives me a bit more of a direction.
Good for you. What motivates you?
Helping people, 100%. And when clients love the product because it's actually saved their ass because there's been an issue, and then they can rely on the contract, or when they've just had a moment where they're like, this is a breath of fresh air. I don't have to deal with issues with handling lawyers or anything else. That for me is the reason why I built what I built. And even helping people, it's not even a business thing. It's like just helping people, homeless people, crossing the road, old ladies, doesn't really matter. If I feel like I'm doing something for some good out there.
You didn't say it, but I heard impact. So how do you measure success with helping people, with the motivation of helping people and having impact? How do you measure success?
I mean,
we've been dancing around it a bit.
How do I measure impact?
Yeah.
How I feel every day.
Do you take stock? Do you self-survey? How do you?
It's a really good question, because I guess one of the things I don't really. I mean, I sort of know, if I haven't done it, because if you walk past somebody and you go, oh, I should have really helped them, then perhaps that's where you remember it more than when you have helped someone and you go about your day and you just think, oh, that's good. I'm glad that they had some help. No, how do you measure impact? Do you have a measurement?
I have some, but it's like yourself. It can be fleeting at points, and oftentimes I don't find myself celebrating wins when I should be.
Okay.
I was able to help these people, or I was able to do this. Should really take a moment back, and even if it's as little as, I don't know, high-fiving somebody or something, just to kind of take stock, because when that happens, then you don't really feel on it.
Yeah, I love that. I love the whole your wins in the day.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that as well, because I forget to do that. I forget to celebrate the wins. And I think also sometimes life just goes so fast.
It does.
You might have little tiny wins and you kind of celebrate them inside, don't you? But then you move on to the next thing.
Right. Same thing with goals often. I have a goal, I meet it, and then I just move on to the next. A celebration should be accompanied by a goal. Yeah. Whether it's simple as a dinner or whatever it may be, or I don't know.
Yeah, just
a
reward or something.
Yeah, something that really celebrates it.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
Helps.
Yeah, I love that.
So. I think so.
I'll definitely try to celebrate them more.
I try to.
That's good.
So you know my story. I started the MSP back in the 90s, Kim. I was working way too hard.
Yep.
Doctor tells me I'm at 340 pounds. I'd gained all this terrible amount of weight.
But you'd never know, looking at you.
Yeah. Well, once you told me that if you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate. And so, it changed punching the steering wheel. What have I done?
Yeah.
It doesn't just impact me anymore. I can abuse myself all I want.
Yeah.
But I've got this family now. And this beautiful little girl that somehow I have some responsibility of bringing into this earth.
Yeah.
So next 7 months, lost about 120 pounds, kept it off.
Wow, amazing.
So when people ask me how, like it's some secret, I always just say discipline, motivation, routine, focus. How does discipline play a role in your life?
So for me, every single day it's not the same day. So discipline sometimes calls into whether it's routine, but it's not. Discipline is pushing through the hard moments. And it's a discipline of not falling backwards. It's not letting go. It's not being like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Discipline is always focus. No, I can do this. I just need to find a way through it. And I think that's really important. It's so funny because when I hear discipline, I always think, do people really mean like I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
I get to my workout.
That's
I
your
get
definition, yeah.
No, it's not mine,
It's
but it's a
not.
lot of people's definition.
Yes.
So when I think about discipline, I don't think in that way. I
Right.
think of, can you be disciplined with your thoughts? So for example, I'm a big believer that where your thoughts go is where your energy goes, right? So Dr. Joe Dispenza teaching. So if you're thinking negatively, that's where your energy is going to go. And you're going to attract more negativity as you're doing things. So my discipline is, can I control my thoughts so that I'm creating more positivity in the way that I see life and the way I see people? Because sometimes, we make judgment of people. You see people on the street, you're like, what is she wearing? Or what is, what is he doing? But if you understand that your thoughts create an energy, even around that person, even if they can't hear it, this is my deep spirituality coming through here, then actually you're not creating the best circumstances for you to live. So you have different teachers saying different things, but for me, your mind is the biggest discipline of all. You can discipline your body. You can go to the gym, you can work, you can lift weights, you can do whatever. But the discipline for me is all mindset. It's a huge amount.
Indulge me for a moment, if you will. I find this is purely anecdotal. Friends, colleagues, I find when they confront me with their issues, I find that people get stuck. Again, this is anecdotal, in one or multiple of these three ways. First, trying to control things they can't control.
Yep.
I hear it all the time.
Yep.
2, holding off on happiness. I'll be happy when this happens, or if this person treats me this way, or when I get the raise, or when I get married, or when I lose the weight, then I'll be happy. So holding off on happiness when it's in your complete control. And third is, this happened to me in the past, therefore I am this way now. Or this is going to happen in the future, therefore I should act this way now. Purely anecdotal, those three ways. Thoughts?
Yeah. So and it's hard. I don't always do it myself, but what I always try and remember is that living in the present moment defeats all of those issues. Because when you live in the present moment, you're not focused on what has to happen in the future to be happy. You are focused on the happiness in that moment. How am I feel? Like even this conversation, it's like I get to talk to you today.
Yes.
I get to talk to you who's had all this amazing life experience, and this is like phenomenal, right? But we can get caught up in talking to someone and think about, I need to go home, or I've got this issue happening at work. And again, something that might be out of your control. If it's out of your control, it's out of your control.
Yeah.
But what can you do in that moment to find peace? Because at the end of the day, that's all we're looking for, is a moment of peace every single moment.
Yeah. It really is. I have friends that have such bad road rage. You're familiar with the term?
Yes, of course.
And it's like, why? You can't control any of this.
I
There's
know.
nothing. Why get so angry? I mean, furious.
Yeah. It's because there's something that triggers them, right?
there's
It's
some
a
triggers
trigger of as though they are not enough, or they're not being seen, or they're feeling less than.
Right, being taken advantage of.
Because
too.
they feel less than.
Yeah.
There's always a feeling that comes from a trigger that responds to an inner child issue, essentially, without going too deep into this.
Interesting.
Okay, so when we are triggered by someone doing something, it's because that is effectively how we're feeling on the inside. I mean, obviously, if someone's beating you up, that's going to be a different
physical,
situation, right?
Yes.
You might get very mad. But it's things that are outside of your control. Someone's cut you up, in a road. Like, okay, they cut you up. Maybe they did do it deliberately. Okay, but what can you do in that moment? You can have peace within yourself rather than respond to that and get into that energy, because all you're going to do is swear back, get out of control, maybe do something even worse. What's the point? Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. You don't have to teach them a lesson. You're not here to teach them a lesson.
That's right. What one thing, if you stopped doing, Kim, would stop your success?
I think if I stopped evolving, in the sense of I'm a big believer in self-growth. I have a very growth mindset. I like to learn things that I don't know about. So, for example, that Rich Dad, Poor Dad example, I didn't know anything about financial planning, so I'm going to learn about it. I'm not going to wait for someone to teach me or to wait for it, for someone to come along and rescue me. Like, I'm going to go and learn this stuff. And I think that ability to be disciplined about what is it that I need to learn to get to the next stage of my life.
Yeah, it's very important, isn't it? It's important for us to measure what we're doing to be successful. Sometimes we don't think about it, we just do it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think you're right. When you hit the point about measuring this, like having the small wins, it's a great amount of measure.
Yeah.
Because then you're seeing how much progress you're making. And when you see how much progress you're making, you want to do more of it.
Yeah.
So you're going to push yourself to do more of that. But it's not always obvious. But as soon as you start changing your mindset and your thoughts and try to turn more into positive thoughts, whatever you're doing, all of a sudden your measurement, if you like, is the peace that you feel. And maybe that's the true measurement of all.
Your inner
Can
peace.
you go through a really difficult situation and feel peaceful? For me, if I'm in a really shit situation and I'm completely at peace with it, I think for me, I would definitely classify that as a big win.
Yeah.
And how many situations can you be in that week where you can sit in the calm in the storm?
It reminds me of a recent situation. It was a very quick social interaction, but somebody asked me, we were talking, and they asked me what pronouns they should use for me. And I said, it doesn't matter. And she says, well, I don't want to offend you. And I said, there's nothing you can do that would offend me. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Because I would have to allow you that power. And I don't allow anybody that power.
But that's spot on.
Yes. I don't allow anyone that power.
Exactly. And that's what people forget.
Yes. It's up to you.
100%.
Yes.
There's a great saying, I don't care what people think of me, like what you think of me is none of my business. That's the saying. What you think of me,
I might have told you that.
Is none of, probably.
Yes.
What you think of me is none of my business. It's none of my business. It's going on in your head. It's not going on in my head.
I can't. There's about 3 or 4 people in my life that I really care. And my daughters, other than that, I mean, I can't control that.
Exactly. And it's none of your business.
It's none of my business.
I mean, why is it anyone's business?
I'll tell you who gave me that gift. Boy, about 20 years ago now, my sister passed away in a car accident. Terrible situation.
Sorry.
And we're at the funeral, and I'm about to go up and give the eulogy. And my parents are there. They're mourning, of course. Worst day of their lives.
Yeah.
One of Rose's friends comes up to me and says, did you hear what happened at the accident with the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend? And I said, how dare you come up to me with this on this day?
Yeah.
How dare you? And it was at that moment, I remember walking away and I said, thank you, Rose. I can no longer worry about what people think.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's too much to hold.
It is.
And if you're holding that, then no wonder you're reacting in road rage.
That's right.
No wonder you're reacting full stop. You're holding way too much.
I've got way too much to hold.
Yeah, but you don't. You need to let it all go.
Yeah.
Because it's not yours. It's not for you to carry.
That's right.
And I think that's the important thing is people have to remember, put it down.
Yeah.
Want to show your love for discipline, inspiration, and the Joey Pinz podcast? Now's your chance. Introducing the brand new Joey Pinz merch store, where style meets discipline. Choose from premium apparel, cozy hoodies, stylish hats, durable bags, and your new favorite coffee mug, all featuring the iconic Joey Pinz logo. Perfect for podcast fans, discipline enthusiasts, or as unique gifts for friends and family. Every purchase supports the Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations podcast, helping us continue to inspire greatness and promote positive change. Visit joeypinz.com/store today and wear your discipline proudly. Joey Pinz merch. Wear it, share it, and live it.
Put your worry down. Because in this moment, no one's attacking you. In this moment, nothing is happening. But we get so caught up in the mind that we think we're on fight and flight all the time. Our cortisol levels are through the roof than they've ever been, because we're always subjected to social media, to all of this stuff, and people telling us what they think.
That's right.
Which is fine. Share it, but don't let it affect you.
Slowly started weeding out those people giving the unsolicited advice.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to find your tribe. I think this is important. Everyone has their tribe. Some people want to be in that kind of energy, and that's fine. Let them be in that. If that's right for them, then that's right for them. But if that's not calling you, then that's not right for you. And there's no judgment in either situation.
Judgment, yeah. I was facilitator of a peer group for a while. I was in it, and then I became facilitator. And I would get asked these questions, and I would say, here's a situation that was very similar to that, and here's what I did, and here's what I learned.
Yep.
I'd never say, if I were you, I would do this, or if, this is what you should do. There's the facts.
Exactly. And that's a great coaching tool.
Yeah, it's a coaching tool.
Because if you tell people what to do, firstly, they'll never learn.
That's right. Yeah.
So actually, you're not helping them, you're hindering them. And then you are offering judgment on the situation rather than them allowing their analytical thought process to go around the subject and come up with a conclusion that's right for them in their situation. And having examples just helps you grab hold of the right answers for that situation.
Absolute pleasure, Kim. I'm so glad when we set this up
Joey.
weeks ago, when we talked. Anybody wants to get in touch with you, MSPs, anyone, what's the best way?
I think just drop me an email, Kim, K-I-M, Simmonds, SIMMONDS at cloudcontracts365.com.
You're
or
also on
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yeah.
LinkedIn, Kim
yeah,
Simmonds.
You do a lot of great stuff on LinkedIn.
Feel free to DM me and connect.
A great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypinz.com. There you'll find lots of resources, and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.